Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to fourth quarter. We are live once again, and we're here just to talk about sports. We love it. Matter of fact, we were just talking, Craig, what's going on? It was NBA All-Star weekend.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess.
So I got to be honest with everybody. I was just telling Craig this, but I haven't really watched it. Craig. I haven't really watched it, man. I haven't watched the All Star game or the dunk contest in a couple years, and the feedback of what I'm getting from some people is a little bit wild. Okay, like Shannon Sharp, we were just talking about this, right? But it was some positives. Before we get to the dunk contest, how did you like the 3 point Steph versus Sabrina, NBA versus WNBA?
I liked it. It was interesting. It was fun to watch.
Yeah,
Seeing two of the best in their fields. Steph on the men's and Sabrina on the women's go at it. And
yeah,
what made it, I guess, more compelling is, and now that because it was such a close contest, and Sabrina had 26, and all the men, the top scorer in the first round, I think overall actually was 26.
yeah.
So and Steph had a really go off, and I think he ended up with 29. So just the fact that it was close now, it has more people talking about it, and it has more people interested in it for next year.
Yeah.
So now, if Caitlin Clark comes out, they're talking about her teaming up with Sabrina against Dame and Steph, since they were the last two champions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. I loved it. It was interesting. It was fun. The 3-point contest has kind of overshadowed everything else going on also weekend for the most part. It seems like for the last couple.
That's probably the best. People love the 3 point contest.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about you should end it with the 3-point contest instead of ending it with the slam dunk, because the slam dunk has always been like the highlights. We've been talking about that for years, but I loved it, man.
So put the three. So like switch it. So have a slam dunk contest first, and then end with the 3 point. That's interesting.
And I know there was some backlash against Kenny Smith too. He said something like he should that Sabrina should have shot from the women's line instead of the men's. But people were taken out of context. I think because he initially picked Sabrina over Steph, and Reggie picked Steph. But he was saying that it gave her or gave Steph an advantage because he was shooting from the line he normally shoots from, and her muscle memory and how she does everything.
It shoots from the WNBA.
And the men's, she should be shooting from the women's. But even still made 26 from the men's.
That's vicious.
So I just think a lot of people were taking his comments out of context and just not really understanding what he was trying to say. But I initially got it, and I didn't find it like sexist or anything like that. So I just think people were kind of taking.
He's basically just telling she would have won.
Like
he would have won. She would have won if she shot from the WNBA. That's all.
Yeah, he was just saying Steph had an unfair advantage because she was shooting from the men's 3-point line. So that's all, man. But it was a really good contest. It's good to see guys like Dame out there at least participating. Like you got some names at least in the 3-point contest, unlike the dunk contest. So hoping Steph does it next year because it'll be in Golden State or Santa Clara or wherever they play at.
Oh, the All-Star game is there next year?
Yeah. So
All-Star weekend?
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're going to do something.
He's going to do it.
Probably participating again, hopefully, and maybe like him going against Sabrina again with maybe.
Yeah. He's probably going to do the main one because he's probably going to do the main 3-point contest because he's.
That's what I mean. I hope he does because that's just going to be
at home.
Probably his last year in front of the crowd.
Because he's gonna play in the Olympics too. I'm surprised he's never played on an Olympic team.
Yeah, he's never done that.
But he said he's doing it in Paris, so I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, I think
I think LeBron's doing it too.
LeBron asked everybody. Did KD commit too?
I think so, but I'm not sure. I want to say yeah.
I think LeBron did too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And AD and Steph. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You know, interesting setup for the USA squad. Because that's a mean five right there. I think Joel Embiid said he wants to play for USA too.
He can't stay.
Yeah, and Paulo Banchero. But anyway, I do think the Steph and Sabirna 3-point contest was perfect, man. I think that it not only it gives the WNBA some shine, you know. And I think they need it. I think it's getting bigger. And they should highlight their players more. So this is just awesome exposure for the WNBA. It's growing. I know that like they're getting like endorsement deals. They have shoe deals. So it's awesome to see the woman brand in sports grow. So I like that, man. And next year, hopefully, they can just expand it, like you said. Now speaking about the dunk contest, you said this, but I let's go over it again. We know the dunk contest needs to be fixed grade. We know it because I didn't, and you know why I didn't watch it? Because I just knew it. I was like, the dunk contest is gonna be bad, and it was. Jaylen Brown is dunking with a silver glove on. He's jumping over Casanat. It just looked a little crazy. I'm glad I did not watch it, but what were your thoughts on the dunk contest overall?
I mean, it was bad. I mean, the only saving grace was Matt McClung. I even think Obi Toppin's brother, Jacob Toppin, I think he was pretty good. I think he should have went to the finals against Matt McClung. I just think. Now, first of all, the judges they're not good. I don't know what to say. It felt like it was rigged for a superstar.
Who was judging?
Jaylen Brown to make it to the finals.
They
had some guy from Indiana from the actual Pacers. Some older guy, like he played for the Pacers a long time ago. Can't remember his name. They had Dr. J. They had Fred Jones who played for the Pacers. They had the GP Gary Payton, and
Gary Payton had to be giving some honest scores out.
I don't think so. No, and they had one more person. I can't remember who it was.
He wasn't doing judging good either.
He wasn't bad, but I think the guy from the Pacers, the older guy.
Yeah,
Hillman, whatever his last name was. I just think his scores were horrible. I don't know. It seems like he was giving everything. Like some dunks were getting high scores, and they should have got low scores, and then vice versa. It just wasn't good, man. I don't know. I think they need to have people who have participated in the dunk contest be judges, whether you lost or whether you won or whatever it is.
Yeah,
whether you participated in the 80s like Dominique, or you participated in the 2000s like Zach LaVine or something, 2010.
Yeah.
I think you need to be a former, because you kind of know what to look for as a judge. I mean, I understand sometimes you want
Dr. J.
That's what I mean. Somebody like that. I understand you kind of want to put somebody who's in that hometown, like the Pacers. They had Fred Jones and they had that guy Tillman. Okay, but I think Fred Jones participated in the slam dunk contest. Could be wrong. But if you get somebody like that, I think he's qualified. Maybe if they go to Golden State next year. Oh, they had Mitch Richmond. That's who the other judge was. I don't know who they're going to put. I don't know who will qualify.
So Golden State, they would need Jason Richardson. He should be judged.
Okay, yeah,
like that's a good example.
As a hometown guy that's participating in the dunk contest. And you get 4 more. Dominique always seems to do it. And then you get 3 more guys.
What about Baron Davis? Did he participate?
You get Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson, yeah.
Somebody like that. I don't care who it is. Just get some people who have done it before that are qualified.
Baron Davis didn't do it, did he?
Because Matt McClung.
Did Baron Davis? He didn't do the dunk contest, did he?
He did.
He did. See, he played for Golden State.
You get somebody like you got Matt McClung who. Okay, so they were, to me, seemed like they were judging for misses when you get a minute and 30 seconds to make one dunk. So
that's what
Matt McClung's first dunk was really nice because he I can't remember what happened. Like he had the ball and he took it off the guy's hand and he threw it up to himself. He caught it and he dunked it back.
Oh yeah.
And he missed the first one, and then the second
Matt
time
McClung did that.
He did it again. He should have got a 50 for it, but instead they're judging him. To me, it seemed like they were judging him for his miss first. Now, if he had made it on the first try, maybe he would have got a 50. But it seems like they just screwed that up. I don't know, man. And then Obi Toppin's brother, I thought he had a really nice dunk, his second dunk, and he didn't get high enough scores. And then you got Jaylen Brown out there. I don't know what I don't know what the reason for the glove was. I don't know.
That was crazy
for jumping over.
He looked crazy.
In a chair, sitting down with Jason Tatum out there with the ball in his hand. When in the first round, in the first round, Matt McClung jumps over Shaq. How do you go from jumping over Shaq to jumping over Kai Sanat, who's already 5'3", 5'4", 5", whatever it is? You cut that in half.
And sit down.
And what does that do? And then he did the D Brown thing, he did the D Brown thing, and his hand went like this after he had already dunked the ball and kind of on the ground. We see you. We can see you. We can go back and rewind it as well. And
it was bad.
That you did not do the D Brown. How the hell?
That was bad, Craig.
Like, yo, come on, man.
The glove. Somebody said Jaylen Brown. I think it was a comedian. Somebody was making fun of him, and they were like, all they did was turn his hat all the way around. It was like. That's the tip. Like they're saying that joint was straight vanilla. That's what I'm getting.
He had some weak dunks.
Crazy.
And then went to the finals. Only reason why I think he went to the finals because he's a star, and they wanted probably some star power in the finals. Matt McClung. I'm surprised he made it because I thought he wasn't going to make it for a second there. But then, I mean, they just need they need to. I said this. I don't know how many times I said this years ago. Like right after the last bad one, which is 2 years ago. I said they need to go out and find some players, street ballers, G Leaguers, everyday hoopers, whatever you want to do.
Like those guys you saw in that video.
Just guys who can dunk the ball and who are very, very creative. Because people say creativity is dead with the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. It's not true. I don't think so. I've watched the video with the 100 dunks. It was 100 plus dunks that were never done in the NBA Slam Dunk Contest before. I mean, they were some amazing creative dunks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you go from what's going on in the NBA to what's going on with these guys that are just doing it just because they can do it. Yeah, and I mean, you got a guy just went straight up in the air, right underneath the basket, straight up and just dunked the ball like between his legs from a standstill, from just vertical jump, and like that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm seeing on these videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the stars, because they're not going to get any stars to participate in this league. The best thing they can do, I mean, I wish they could get for next year, Ja Morant, Zion, and Anthony Edwards to go against Matt McClung because he wants to defend his title and go for 3 in a row.
Dang, that's a lot.
You have young star power
who
can dunk, who get above the rim, who could probably be creative, find something creative to do in between now and the next year. And be good with it. But I mean, if you can't go that route and get some stars who are like young guys who still haven't signed their second contract yet and got that extra money, then you got to go out and find these no-name guys or these YouTube guys that can dunk the ball. Granted, it's not going to put. To me, I would rather see no-name guys who can dunk versus seeing stars who can't.
Yes. 100%.
I don't care. You got to rename it to just the Slam Dunk Contest, and it's no longer named the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. I don't care. I just want to see guys who can put on a show. They don't need to be superstars. They don't need to be stars. They don't need to be NBA players at this point. Just got to find and I think Stephen A. Smith said this that if you want the NBA to sponsor some of these guys that are like street ballers or whatever, just regular dunkers,
yeah,
fine.
he did say
Go ahead and have LeBron James sponsor one of these guys, or I don't know, Anthony Edwards or somebody like that, Zion, KD.
That's why he was talking about that prize, that cash prize.
Yeah, and then get him some incentive as well. Because
they
definitely need some incentive because, I mean, it'll at least draw some people to want to participate. I think they could do that with the stars in the NBA now. If you give them a cash incentive, I just think a lot of these guys, they don't want to do it because they don't want to embarrass themselves. Yeah. They don't want to go out and do it for nothing, but also embarrass themselves. And it's not going to help their brand or whatever it is. It's like back in the day when Dominique did it and Jordan did it, they were probably getting, I don't know, 15,000 extra, but they weren't making that much. Now guys are making 30 million a year. Why would they? Why do they need to participate in a slam dunk contest? It's just not the same incentive. It's just not the same motivation anymore that guys had back then compared to guys now. So I don't know, man. I do like just going out and getting regular.
I like that idea.
And just find the best dunkers that you can find. Bring them to you.
I've been seeing some Instagram, like I've seen some Instagram videos of like some dunks.
There's guys out there
are worthy to be like winning the dunk contest.
It's just a dunk contest. They don't need to be. They don't have to go to the league. You're not doing any of that. Just bring them in, let them come in, and just let them put on a show for the fans. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Anyway, it's about the fans. It is. Yeah, man, it's
up for it. And I don't understand it because the NBA's up for a TV deal.
You should be trying to do what all you can.
For a TV deal.
I get it, man. It's just
crazy.
But man, I think a lot of these guys that are on these like YouTube, getting YouTube or doing YouTube dunks and stuff like that, they would love to benefit from the exposure that they're going to get from just participating in this thing. And then if you go out and you put on a show, oh my God,
you like that
more? It's like Matt McClung's a perfect example.
Yeah,
I knew who he was.
Nope. Well, I did.
I didn't.
Oh, because all right. The only reason I know Craig is because he was drafted by the Lakers.
Oh, that's right. He was.
And we had him on a 2-way contract. Yeah. Right. That's how I know. You know what I'm saying?
I think last year he was on the Sixers or something or whatever.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around.
Now he's with the Magic, I think, or whatever. Well, G-League team.
Yeah, he with the G-League team. He was on the Lakers.
Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't even. I mean, I didn't know who he was. A lot of people didn't even know who he was last year.
Nah.
So
a lot of people did not know what he was.
And this is he's just getting exposure. That's
it. And that'll be that. To your point, that's nice for the YouTubers. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to go there
on this level.
Their brand is going to go up. Unlike somebody maybe like
it's a win-win.
Somebody in the NBA, maybe he can't benefit from it, but they can.
Yeah, it's a win-win. It's so the NBA is going to entertain us, and which is going to push the viewership up, and you give people like Matt McClung or a YouTuber a chance to get exposure.
Right.
And they're going to show out.
Why wouldn't they?
They're going to show out. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I like that. I like that idea. So Stephen A, speaking of Stephen A, he did say that LeBron ruined the dunk contest. Do you agree with him? Do you think LeBron, do you think he set the tone?
I think he set the tone. I think he I'm not saying he's 100% responsible because at the end of the day, stars, if you don't want to participate, you're just not going to participate. Or if you trash at dunking, you just put on a terrible show. That's just what it is. But I think when he said he said he was thinking about doing it or he putting his name into it, and everybody got all excited. Like Reggie Miller and Kenny Smith and everybody got all excited when he said it it was like during the All-Star game, I think, or during the slam dunk contest in 2009, and people were getting all pumped up and Next year, come out 2010 in Dallas, he doesn't do it. And years after that, he still doesn't do it. So I think he's kind of set the tone where I'm a superstar or I'm a star and I don't want to do it. So now to me, it seems like it's making other young stars or superstars not want to do it as well. And I mean, he's a big influence on a lot of these guys. A lot of people think he's the greatest of all time or one of the greatest, or they look up to him. And he has that type of, whether he's doing it on purpose or not, I don't think he's doing it on purpose, but he has that type of influence on some of these guys that look up to him. And he didn't want to do it, so now they don't want to do it. Back in the day, guys like Michael Jordan did it because he wanted to do it. I mean, Dominique did it. Before him, it was Dr. J. It was guys like Larry Nance was doing it. Sean Kemp was doing it. Vince Carter. Like, you had all these high flyers that have done it before. And Clyde Drexler.
Remember, this is what I think. That's what I think they were talking about. To your point, what Gilbert Arenas is talking about, because Tracy McGrady was young. He wasn't T-Mac when he did the dunk contest. Kobe did the dunk contest, I think it was a rookie or a second year. He wasn't like the Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So I see what your point is with LeBron.
I mean, there's some guys who've done it late in their
I understand it.
Dwight Howard done it when he was he wasn't young Dwight Howard.
He was a superstar, I think.
He was up there.
I think he might have been the last superstar to like really involve himself in him, I think.
Jaylen Brown, he's getting paid like a superstar, $300 million.
He's getting paid like a superstar. I think Dwight might have been bigger than him.
Oh yeah, Dwight's bigger than him. But I mean, I'm just saying,
like star.
I just think he's partly to blame for what's going on in the dunk contest. Maybe if he did it, maybe it would have been a different outcome of people who wanted to do it. But yeah, I do agree that you need to get them when they're young, especially when they're on their rookie contract, because they haven't signed a big contract yet. Because once they sign a big contract, it seems like, well, what do I need to do the dunk contest for?
Yep.
I've already built my. Is it going to help me get endorsements? Is it going to help my brand? Is it going to help me grow or whatever it is? So if it's not going to do that, then I can understand why they don't want to do it. But at the same time, it sucks because as a fan, growing up and looking at the dunk contest for all these years, you see all these people who have done it, and now you're just getting like, well, I mean, you just barely you're scraping the bottom of the barrel when you're getting guys like Antetokounmpo's brother or Jacob Toppin or like, I don't even know some of these people's names. The guy that played, I don't even know who he was, Jaimez or something like that from Miami. Like, I don't know these people. But if it doesn't matter to me, if they could go out there and put on a show and like be creative with the dunks, I'll be cool with it. They just couldn't do that. I can't have no stars and you be trash at dunking. I don't want to see that. That's the worst of the worst. No stars and you're trash at dunking. I'd rather have a star and be great at dunking. That would be my number one seed. And then like the number 2 seed would be a no-name guy, but be great at dunking as well. But it's kind of hard to find that. It seems like it's just like nobody wants to do it and everybody wants to, and then they don't want to be embarrassed. And I hate to say it, man, but I think LeBron James is probably to blame.
I get it. I see how he set the tone, but I mean, I think it's a lot of factors that factor into it.
Definitely a lot of factors. But I don't think
it falls all on LeBron, though.
I'm not saying that.
I get your point, though. I understand what Stephen A. has been saying. I think Skip Bayless said the same thing a minute ago, too. Like, nobody is good. If LeBron would, I think Skip Bayless said this, too. If LeBron would have did a dunk contest, we wouldn't be having this problem. Today.
Probably not, but I definitely think it would have been more
stars would have did it. More stars would have did it.
That's just my. I mean, that's the way I see it.
Did Dwayne Wade ever participate in the dunk contest?
I don't think so. But guys like Scottie Pippen did it. He's not even like a big time dunker. Scottie Pippen did it back in the day.
That's what I'm saying. D Wade should have done it.
I don't think he did. I could be wrong.
I don't think D Wade did it. Because I would have loved to see him in a dunk contest. I don't think D Wade did it.
I mean, really, after Kobe, it really wasn't. I mean, actually, I should say after Vince. After Vince, it kind of
I
just
think it
was
was
like
Vince.
I don't know who was in it. I mean, I know Jason Richardson had some good ones, but I mean, he wasn't like a superstar. Dwight Howard,
No,
was probably like the biggest name.
Dwayne Wade didn't do it.
Yeah, Dwight Howard, maybe Blake Griffin, but I think Blake Griffin was like a rookie, or it might have been his second year when he did it. I know John Wall was in it. PG was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. But I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't know where they go from here, because I think the next year, if it's gonna be the same thing, man. Unless they fix it right now and go out and get some no names or get some commitments from some young guys.
Speaking about LeBron, he actually was, saying during one of his interviews, he said, "I know I don't have a long time to play, and he doesn't know if he's going to do a farewell tour." So it's a two-part question. The first is, how many years do you think LeBron still has in him? Like, how many? Like, do you think he's, by making that statement, when do you think he retired?
I think he probably has 2 more great years.
That's what I was thinking.
2 more great years, but I think he can probably push it until
3, and then third be his last year on the way
3
out.
or 4. I'll give him 3 or 4 more years. Depends on how he feels, I guess. But I think he has 2 more great years in him where he can kind of carry the team and put the team on his back. It's got to be a point where he can't be the number one option anymore. If Anthony Davis is going to be on the team with him, Anthony Davis is going to have to start carrying the team a little bit more. I know he's leading the team in scoring by like 0.1 points, but he's got to start like taking over and being.
I think they're going to push for a third star.
He needs to be like 30 and like 12 or something like that, or close.
I think they're going to push for. I think they're going this season. I think they're going to make a trade for a Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell. The Lakers.
Donovan Mitchell might be a free agent soon.
Yeah. So with LeBron and those 2 years, I don't know.
2 more great years in him, I should say. 2 more great years.
I agree. Now, he has 2 more years. We both agree on that. Do you think he does a farewell tour?
If I was him, I would. I think it's his. Either way, he's earned whatever he wants to do. Yeah. But I think he said he's never been good with praise. But I just think a lot of people who don't like LeBron or maybe vilify him or whatever the case may be, I think it'll be good for him to go through this tour. That way you can get a lot of love and a lot of appreciation and fanfare. Because once LeBron's gone, he's gone. And he's one of the best players ever. And we need to appreciate him. Sometimes we get caught up in whatever's going on. We don't appreciate these players and don't appreciate their greatness. Like, there's no more Tom Brady. He's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So guys like that, so he's on that type of level. Like, we have to appreciate these guys when they're here. So I just think an appreciation tour, like Kobe got an appreciation tour. I know there are a lot of people out there that probably a lot of people out there that didn't like Kobe.
A lot of people. You're right.
Once he went to that tour, it seems like the perception of him changed, and like he was getting more gratification and more love and everything like that, and appreciation for what he's put into the game. Mm-hmm. So, if I was LeBron, I would definitely do a farewell tour because he's more than earned it, and he'll find out that during the tour how much love and appreciation and admiration is that the word? Admiration Admiration. Jesus Christ.
Admiration.
How much
I was
admiration
about to agree with you. I was like, yep, that's a
that
word.
people have for him, and I think it'll be good for his image.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Odd Couple and today about this, and an interesting caller from New York was like, because Rob Parker basically said, he might receive some boos, but a fan from the Knicks called it. He said, when Michael Jordan went on his farewell tour, he got cheered in the Garden. He was like, I think LeBron should do it because he's basically saying the same point that you are. Like, if he does a farewell tour, he'll be probably surprised with the amount of love that he receives. Love and admiration. I think he deserves that. I do, man. I think he deserves that. But him, Steph, and KD are about to be. They're about to be gone. You know that, right? Like right now, this question came up. Let me ask you this. The NBA has got really lucky, right? They had Bird and Magic. Then they had Jordan. Then they had Kobe. I guess was Shaq ever the face of the league?
I think he was up there.
He was up there because they were on the three-peat. So you got Kobe and Shaq, then Kobe, then LeBron, and then Steph. That's a good run. And KD, good. That's a good run. So this question was asked. Number one, do you think the next face of the league will be an American-born player? Or do you think they move international?
I think
Because Wibby looks like he wants it.
I think whoever I wouldn't no. I think whoever it is has to be either a champion, NBA champion, or an MVP.
Because Jokic doesn't want it. Giannis,
both.
Giannis.
Probably at this point it's probably I don't know if Giannis wants it. Probably maybe. I know people are saying Anthony Edwards, which is cool, and Luka, but neither one of them have won a championship.
Tatum. What about Tatum?
Tatum hasn't won a championship right now, but he's getting close. I think if he wins
a
championship this year,
if he gets a championship this year,
I think Tatum does want to be the face of the NBA.
Yeah,
he's still young.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't mind it.
He hasn't signed a big time deal yet, which I think is coming next year.
She gonna sign crazy,
but I think he should be consideration, especially especially if they win the championship. Even if he doesn't win the MVP of the regular season, if he wins the Finals MVP, that's cool. But I mean, he'll already have a championship. So I think at that point, when LeBron and Steph and KD do decide to step away, because I don't think Kawhi wants it at all. And Kawhi is what, 30?
Kawhi doesn't want it. Jokic doesn't want it.
If you really think about it, it would be Kawhi probably be the next because he's a little bit older, I think, than Jokic. And he's definitely older than Giannis. But I don't think Kawhi wants it. So I don't think Jokic wants it, like you said. So it's either Giannis or it's a guy, if they win a championship this year, a guy like Tatum. I mean, because other than that, I don't. There's really nobody else out there. You would have to just let it play out and see what happens when that time comes to see who's in that position to be the next face, if there is going to be a next face. It might just be faces. It might be a couple of guys, but I think they have to win a championship, and I think they have to win the championship and or MVP, but I would put definitely a bigger emphasis on the championship. So
yeah,
it's
it's gonna be somebody new coming up. It's gonna be somebody new coming up.
I know a lot of people saying Ja, but Ja got his own issues. Zion,
I don't think so.
but Zion, no way at this point.
It's if Luka wins the championship, Tatum, Giannis.
I think part of it also is
Luka.
Playing yeah. I also think part of it.
If Embiid wins the championship, he'll be. Because I think Embiid wants to be.
But Embiid just can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy, and he doesn't win in the playoffs.
That he can't get back to second round. I do think it helps if you're in a big city because I know Shai Gilgeous.
Yeah,
he could be it as well. He could be in consideration.
He could.
Right now, he doesn't play in a big market. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. They don't play in a big market either.
Minnesota, OKC.
They could probably try to put it on the map because I think obviously KD was there, and so was Harden and so was Westbrook, and in Minnesota, Kevin Garnett was there. So you can have a star there who can potentially be a face of the league type of talent or player, but
question is, do those players stay?
That's another thing. By that time,
just stay.
When Steph and KD leave after LeBron, those guys will be older. I don't know. Maybe it'll be Wemby by that time. Maybe he'll have a chip with him. I don't know. But I'm just gonna let it play out and see what happens. For me.
What's up, brother? What's up?
Look forward to join us, man.
Listen, let me tell you. Listen, I lost my phone. I don't used to see a text from y'all like group text joint. So I got to start over and got none of my numbers. So I ain't see no group text from y'all. So now it's funny because I'm like, normally James said something, it's at the top, it's the womb. So now I'm looking, I'm like, and my girl said something, she called me, she's like, what you doing? I'm like, why you say it like that? I'm like, aren't you on the podcast? I'm like, man, I ain't seen that. Somebody told me, my computer, let me see if Jay sent the email.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I lost my phone over the weekend, so I got a whole new phone.
Nice.
All right. I'm about to text you right now.
I'm like, crud. I was like, I ain't see nothing from the group. Normally we group text throughout the week, so I ain't see that, so I didn't know what was going on this week.
All right, you see the text?
Yeah, it's probably about to pop up.
I sent it from the group. I said, here you go.
All right. Yeah, I see it. What's going on, man? What's going on, fellas?
What's good? What's good? Mo, we were talking about do you think there's gonna be the first thing we were talking about is how many years you think LeBron got playing, and do you think he goes on a farewell tour?
I think he does. I don't see him just straight up retiring. I don't see him just straight up like season and then he just come out of nowhere and just like, I'm gone
in the summertime and be like,
just like, I'm done. I feel like I've done enough for the game and I don't have it in me no more. But then it's like I can honestly see him waiting around another year maybe or two to see his son, because I've seen him make comments about his son. I don't think his son ready to come out this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. But I truly don't think he's ready, but that's just my opinion. I don't know others, but I can still see his son coming out, and because his size and his name, I can see him still get drafted. But I think he should come back at least one more year. That's just me.
He might.
He should. I think LeBron will go on. I can see it both ways. I can see LeBron doing a situation where he says like, gives the respect to the Lakers, like, this it, and and then every city. And I can see every city, especially, his last game in Miami and Cleveland.
Oh, it'll be crazy.
Like seeing him, doing like a little, tribute to him or something like that. I can see that happening. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's good. It'll be good for the game. Yeah, people think it's kind of over the top, but what he's giving to the game, I wouldn't be mad if he said, like, told people up front, like, this is my last year. And then, everywhere he goes, it's kind of like a farewell thing, kind of like how Ray did, with Ray and others have done where they told you, like, hey, this is my last year. You seem like a little farewell tour.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh, also, we were talking about, LeBron's probably gonna retire soon, KD gonna retire soon, and Steph gonna retire soon.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Do you think the face of the league is going to be an American-born player? You think it's going to be?
I don't know. I mean, you got to look at Luka. You got to look at Jokic. Giannis.
Jokic don't want it. Jokic don't want it.
Yeah, Jokic. Hey, I don't even think Luka wants it. You know what I'm saying? You can even see him at the All-Star game. It was like, yeah, we're here. We're just here so we don't get fined. Like, it's just another day for us. Like, it really didn't look like excitement. It looked like it was excitement between jokes with them, but overall, it didn't look like it was like overall excitement for them. So I honestly, if you talking about from a excitement, charisma, kind of a jokes and stuff kind of standpoint, I think Giannis. But I mean, I think more from that standpoint, I think Giannis.
Yeah, we kind of agree, Giannis.
Maybe Wemba later on, but I see Giannis in the
Wembayana wants it. You could tell he wants it. Because Tim Duncan didn't want it. No. But Kobe embraced it. LeBron embraced it.
Tatum just has to me. Tatum just has more. I don't know, like out there. He's not as out there as or charismatic to me as like a LeBron or a Kobe. I think he's that way.
Yeah.
And he wins a championship. I'm going with Tatum.
Yeah.
And he's in the big market. I'm going with Tatum. But
if Tatum wins it this year, if they win the chip this year, they're definitely gonna make him the face.
They talking about him as far as MVP because he's on the NBA's best team, best record, and his stats good enough to kind of warrant him getting it, especially if they end with the best record.
He should be.
Well, right now he's in fifth.
He should be.
Not Giannis, but
they said Jokic is number one. And they said Shai Gillis.
But
they said Tatum is 5.
Oh yeah, but the wild part is you can put Giannis almost up there almost every year because it's like Jokic up there almost every year because like, man, for a big man to be like that, if they stay in that top 3 to 5 in the West and then he getting 20 triple, 25, 30 triple. I mean, we ain't seen nothing like this like ever from his size. Like somebody, these are like
Jokic a beast.
He putting up like what Westbrook was putting up his back-to-back MVP years. He putting up that number at the center position. He been putting that up for the last 4 years straight. Jokic's been putting up.
Jokic's a beast, man. He a beast.
And nothing about him screams like physicality or speed or nothing. He just fundamentally sound. He just kills you with fundamentals.
That's it.
That's good, man.
That's good. That's it. He be killing. But this is gonna be interesting. Mo.
Yeah.
The NBA All-Star Weekend. They combined 397 points.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on the game? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I did not. Y'all are better than me. I ain't want to waste my time, man.
You know what's so wild about it though? Like the East was running them ragged. Like everybody was talking about the size differential of the West, but the East was just going small. Man, one time I swear the tallest person on the court was a dude from the Pacers. It was Halliburton, and they were sitting there just running ragged. It was like I was looking like, are you serious right now? I'm like, it's no effort in a regular game. There's no way they would win this game. Like you could just tell it was a pickup game because it was like they was just getting it and go, and they was taking turns. Like Halliburton hit like 6 threes straight. Then here come Lillard, he hitting threes. I'm like, it's bad when the losing team had the leading score. Big Cat had 50. Come on now. Like Big Cat had 50. He had like 34 in the fourth quarter alone. Like it was just, I was like, come on, man. No.
Dame shot 23 threes.
23 threes, man. He shot at least.
Shout out to the half court joint, guys. Shout out to the half court joint stuff.
Yeah, he shot at least 7 of them half court and was hitting them. I was like, what the world?
He just pulled up from half court.
No, it was man was giving up layups. It was man was giving up layups to step back and hit a three. Like it was man was like clear cut lane for a layup and man was to step back and hit a three. I'm like, come on, man, come on.
So Craig was talking about this earlier. Craig, what's your thoughts on it?
Okay. So I honestly I don't even. You know what? The Celebrity All-Star Game was more competitive than
there. It is.
That's it.
It was. I watched the Celebrity All-Star Game.
Even Stephen A. said that. It was like
I watched it, and for the most part, up until and they had some crazy rules where you get double points, people on fire, you get
Shannon Sharp was talking about that.
Something like that. And I mean, and the floor was interactive and stuff like that, which was cool. But I mean, they had some crazy things on there where the game could have got out of hand, and it was ended up being still a 9-point win. And it was a close game. I mean, when you jack up as a total for both teams 168 threes, I mean, that pretty much says it all to me. There's no way you should put up 160. There's just no effort in this game.
That's crazy.
There's no
crazy.
Nobody wants to seem like nobody wants to be there. So I say if you don't want to be there, just go ahead and just take away the whole thing. Just give them the accolades of being selected. But that's going to hurt the fans because that's what the fans want to come there and see it. But I mean, Adam Silver was like before the game something to the effect of, "I got faith that we're going to see a competitive game and all this stuff." And
Larry Bird talked about it too.
And they go out there and put up 200, and they scored 50 points in each quarter, 50 plus points in each quarter.
That's crazy.
I looked at it when I was watching it, and it was Hilleburton was going off.
That's crazy.
They had 20 points in 2 minutes, and I was like, "Yo, they're going for 200 points." Ain't no if they give.
That's crazy.
They're going for 200 points, and then I look at it at halftime, they got 104. I'm like, "Yep." I mean, if the over or under was 350, I would have bet the over before the game started because I knew for a fact that 3-pointers were going to be just non-stop. I blame Steph for this. I do. He's part of it for all these threes that are getting jacked up. As great a player as he is, and I love Steph, but he's definitely part. Yeah, he's played a big part in this. I mean, you got Luka shooting a 75-foot shot with like 40 seconds left in the quarter.
That was crazy.
Because he said he didn't want to do a 2-for-1. What is that? Who does that? Luka's not taking it seriously.
No.
Him and Jokic are going down the court, just like passing ball back and forth with each other like it's hot potato or something like that. Luka's talking to people in the stands when they're on offense. I mean, it's just a 3-point / like layup dunk fest in this game. Like there's no effort to do anything, and it's just an embarrassing thing to watch as a fan, especially when you pay money as a fan who want to go out there and see a what I think is a competitive game, or what should be a competitive game, or at least just some effort. Even if it's not a competitive game and it's a 25-point blowout, at least show some effort, like you're trying to play defense. Usually in the fourth quarter is when teams start to pick it up, and I mean, I don't know what's going on lately with the NBA and the dunk. I mean, the All-Star game, but it's just it's the Karl Anthony Towns had 31 points in the last quarter. He had 50 for the game. That's
crazy.
That's the only reason to get MVP because they lost.
Right here.
They lost.
They shot 289 total shots, 168
That's crazy.
For threes. Like there was 5 free throws. 5. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just an abomination. It's just a bad product. I don't know. They got to figure it out because
they have to.
I mean, it's been like this pretty much since 2016.
Yeah, they have
to. The first time that a team scored 190 something points, and it's been like that for the most part every year, except for the 24-point Kobe fourth quarter rule that they put in.
Yeah,
but man, 211 points in an All-Star game. I get it. People I love offense, but man, you got to get. This is pretty much a summation of what the NBA is. No defense for the most part, or no lack of effort, or lack of trying. And I know JJ Redick came out and said something like they're asked to guard 15% more of the court now because, and I do agree with them that if they put if they take out the defensive 3-second rule,
the defensive 3-second rule,
it might limit the actual space on the court because right now everybody's kind of spaced out, so it's nothing to do but just go 1-on-1 or jack up threes. So they take that rule out. I think it'll help the game. I think if you add hand checking back in, that might help the game too. Something.
Yeah, because this is something that this is why Adam Silver stressed this. Y'all know that their TV deal is coming up, and the players get a percentage of it. And Adam Silver's like, guys, if y'all not competitive, what network is going to want to get the All-Star? Turner, TNT already came out and said they was like, I mean, we could probably be on the NBA 1 game a week. We won't need it like that. You gotta be careful with that because, you know, we can survive without the NBA. But when you have All-Star weekends like this, where the dunk contest was terrible, the NBA All-Star game was terrible. They're looking at TV companies are looking at the views.
They pretty much saying just keep the 3-point contest. They pretty much saying keep the 3-point contest. And pretty much they pretty much saying, man, just do 3-point contests and the skills. Like
look at the NFL. The NFL got rid of the game. They said the only. Let me ask you this, Craig. Let me ask you this. This is a real thing. The baseball All-Star game. So, like, how do we fix it?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to answer that because it's in I did my top 5 on this because I initially had my top 5 All-Star games and All-Star game history, but after this game, I had to change it to my top 5 fixes for the NBA All-Star game. So,
I like that. So we go. Okay. I like that. We'll definitely go. I like that. So we'll wait for that for your top 5. I like that, but they got to do something to fix it though.
Yeah,
they have to. People were talking about make a cash incentive. We were talking about this before the air. Some people were talking about USA versus the world. I think Broussard said that. Some people are saying just get rid of it. I don't think we should get rid of it. But some people are saying get rid of it. Some people are saying what are they saying? They're saying that when is it? It's on a Sunday. Some people are saying move it back to Sunday afternoon because of all the events they have. So I don't know. It's let me ask this, Mo, because we're gonna get to Craig's top 5. We're gonna end with that. But Mo, how do we fix it?
Man, because who's to say that even if you do USA versus the world or you do a certain thing like that, like who's to say they're gonna play hard? I hate to say this. I heard somebody joke about this, and I don't know if it was I don't know if I was riding with somebody right quick when we was talking about this or what it was doing, but yeah, I was riding with somebody. Matter of fact, Radio said this, and I know somebody laughed at what he said, but I thought I'm like, at this point though, how the dudes are playing, you might as well do this. You might as well take the 12 best NBA. And at this point, take the 12 best collegiate players and let them get some shine playing against NBA dudes and maybe do that during the All-Star weekend. I know some college coaches might look at it like, I don't want my dudes to get hurt. But it's like, at this point, you got to do something like this. That ain't working. Like, that ain't working.
Somebody said get rid of the 3-point line.
Yeah, like, it's you got to do something.
Somebody said get rid of the 3-point line. I think Gilbert Arenas said that. He said remove the Gilbert Arenas said remove the 3-point line.
I wouldn't do that.
He's crazy. He's like, just remove it. I was like, damn.
Okay.
Gilbert crazy, man. He crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I it's some things probably you could do to fix it, but until dudes really want to compete, like I feel like dudes come out there and they just want to put on a good show, but it's no competing. It's a good show. It looks good because of the alley-oops and the 3-point dunks, and you get the, you kind of get the storylines. Like you always like a good storyline. You get a dude like LeBron, 20 straight All-Star appearances, break the record. You get, what I'm saying? You get a dude like Steph in his 10th. You get the young cats. Like I think it was I think the East had 4 or 5 dudes making their first All-Star appearance. Like half of the East roster was under 24 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get the good storylines, but it's like you still want a competitive show. Like you still want to see defense. You still want to be like a nail biter. You want to see a 40-point whipping, 30-point whippings because there's no defense play, not because they were just that much better than you. Like it wasn't like the East was just that much better than the West. It was just they weren't competing. And then it's like they just outspeed them. Like literally the East was like, we get the rebound, we going. Like they ain't run. Of course, you're not running no sets in the All-Star game. So they was getting in and going. And the West was like so slow because they were having like Jokic and Anthony Davis and the other Bama's on the court at the same time. And it's like you sitting there, and it's like you sitting there now, and it's like I said, at one point they was doing a lineup where like Halliburton was like the tallest dude on the court, and they would just literally get it and go. Spread the court, give it to the man who wants to shoot a 3 who's hot, and he'll shoot it. And that's how they was going. It's like so. So
Mo, speaking of college, what are the top 4 college basketball rankings right now?
Right now, I'm gonna go with UConn is clear number 1. I think this week
they balling.
For the first time, they were unanimous. I think nobody got a first place vote this week, especially with Purdue losing to unranked Ohio State. Then I would go number 2. Right now, I would go Houston. They made a major statement. They beat a good Iowa State team of the day. Number 3, I still go Purdue right now. And then number 4, I go Arizona. This year, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more upsets than we've seen in years, probably in the NCAA tournament. I just don't see, like outside of UConn, I don't see a clear-cut Final Four type of team. Maybe Houston, but they don't score enough for me, but their defense is just so ferocious. Like, I think they can do it. But outside of UConn right now, I just can't sit there and say I see a clear-cut Final Four team or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to definitely be an interesting situation right now.
All right, guys. So the NFL draft is coming up. Some people have 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. 6. Some people have 5. Some people have 4. Let me ask the group this. How many quarterbacks you think get drafted this year in round 1?
I want to say 4.
That 5, it might be a thing, man.
It's 4 or 5 in my opinion. I don't think it's 6. I think I might say 5 just because I think it might be another team out there that wants another quarterback. That might be quarterback needy or quarterback. I don't know. They might see a quarterback go 1, 2, 3, and then they might see another quarterback go like 10 or something or 12, and then all of a sudden they might get a little antsy. But it all depends. To me, it all depends obviously on what happens in free agency, and it also depends on what happens with Justin Fields if he gets traded somewhere like to Atlanta because he's from Atlanta, or from that area. So he could go right, So he could go right there. But it just depends on what happens in free agency. But aside from that,
Pittsburgh could trade.
I'm gonna say 5.
Woo!
I think I'm gonna say 5. top 3, and then like
I can see
like,
that. I can see 5. I can see 5. 6 is pushing it. I think Joe Klatt said 6.
Yeah, 6 pushing it.
He said 6.
It wouldn't surprise me if 6 happened.
It wouldn't surprise me if 6 happened.
I don't know about. I don't know.
So these was his 6 quarterbacks that would get drafted in the first round. Obviously, you have Caleb Williams, because I listened to him the other day. He did a. If y'all don't know who Joe Klatt is, Joe Klatt was a quarterback that played for the University of Colorado. He's big into college football, and he does a mock draft every year with college players, and he was pretty right on his mock draft. I listened to Daniel Jeremiah and Buckley Brooks. They have a podcast called Move the Sticks. I listen to them when draft time comes around, just not even on the quarterbacks, but on the prospects. So Joe Klatt had Caleb going number 1. He has Caleb is the best quarterback in the class. Then he has Drake May that's right behind him. Then he has Jaden Daniels. He said those 3 quarterbacks are going to go 1, 2, and 3. Then he said that you got a team that might want to draft Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy. And he has Michael Penix Jr. going in the first round. Those are 6 quarterbacks. I don't know, Mo. I don't know. If there's 5, 6 could possibly go.
So let's say this: it's so many quarterback needy teams, and based on quarterback. Now, one thing, and I don't want to be disrespectful what I'm about to say, but nah, I heard a comment today I ain't like. I listen. I know my team bad, but I don't agree with we the most quarterback needy team. No. I couldn't agree with that. I don't think we're more quarterback needy than Atlanta. I'm sorry. If you add in the talent that Atlanta had, I'm sorry. Heineke and what's name looked terrible, and Ritter. I'm like, listen, how did the best he could with Atlanta?
It's a lot. No. I agree with you, Mo. I think you know what teams. I think you're right. Teams that need quarterbacks, we're not needy because we're in a good position, right? So needy teams is probably Atlanta, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like that. I'm like, no. I'm like, so
those are needy teams because they don't have the draft. Like, we're not a quarterback needy team if we're number 2. That means we're going to get a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We're not needy. We're not a needy team for a quarterback. But I agree with Atlanta.
I can see 5 because if Atlanta doesn't trade for Fields, you still got to put them in play. You still got the top 3. You still got to put Atlanta in play. That's 4. Yeah. Possibly depending on what Minnesota does with Kirk Cousins, you got to put them in play. If I'm them, I'm re-signing Kirk Cousins. Let me say this.
What about Denver?
Denver's in play. New Orleans possibly in play.
Raiders
is in play. Because you're not going to stay with no Garoppolo. I mean, he already got suspended for the first 2 games.
They said they're trying to be aggressive in the draft.
Yeah.
They came out and said they're going to be aggressive.
Yeah, so I can see
them trading New England to get the 3rd pick.
Let's say this. I would not be surprised at 6. I'm going to top it at 5. But I wouldn't be surprised at 6. I think one of the bigger questions is going to be, who's that 4th quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Who that?
So all of us know that Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels is gone. We all know that, right? Those are the first 3 quarterbacks. Mo, who are your next 2? Who's your 4 and 5? Because it's 3 names, but
Hey, I'm listen. No disrespect to JJ McCarthy. I'm not saying dude can't play. I would go Penix and Knicks before him. That's just me.
Got it. Okay.
I would go Penix and Knicks before McCarthy,
Okay.
but because of the pedigree, because of getting coached by John Harbaugh, because of the winning and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if someone, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be surprised. And because of Bo Nix's age, and because of people being scared of, even with him clearing medical, I think people are going to be scared of drafting Bo Nix first round with all of those, coming off of all those injuries and stuff like that. Even though he's made it through the past 2 years, I think some teams might be scared. You know what I'm saying? I think it might scare some teams. So I could see McCarthy being the fourth. I wouldn't be like shocked, but I don't think he's the fourth best quarterback in this draft. That's it.
Craig, we all know the first three. Who do you think is going to get drafted fourth and fifth?
I think it's going to be McCarthy and probably Knicks.
I think so too. Unfortunately,
yeah. And
I think Michael Penix is better than both, but
unless they go out and have a great combine or something, which seems to be a thing where people just climb up the draft boards. I don't know. I mean, film, I guess, just takes a back seat to the combine sometimes. But
that's very true.
I don't know, man, because I mean, I just think I do agree with Mo. Like what I've seen from Penix, the games that I watched, he seems like he's a better, more complete quarterback than McCarthy. But
yeah, you know how I feel about Penix.
I just think people are going to favor McCarthy more, and he's been in that system for a while, and so I just think they're going to roll with that. But and Knicks has just been around for a while as well. He's been in different with Auburn, then he went to Oregon.
A lot of people were saying
it's tough.
Sean Payton, because now Sean Payton came out and said, we gotta evaluate everybody, and we still might bring Russ back. And Rich Eisen was like, "Would you see how it looks after you benched him?"
Man, listen. Hey,
just be honest. You're being dishonest.
Is funny.
You're being dishonest.
Oh man, Charles Barkley at the All-Star thing had me rolling. They showed Russell Wilson All-Star joint. Charles Barkley was like, "They go Russell Wilson. Yeah, he looking for a job." Everybody was like, but he still was different. Charles Barkley was like, "Man, he be a fool come back to Denver." They say ain't no way he coming back there. I was dying laughing.
No way.
They said no way. After how they treat him, come back there. Like, come on, man.
Daniel Jeremiah, he has 4 quarterbacks in the first 8 picks.
That means somebody had to move up then.
He says no. So he has
Atlanta getting a quarterback at 8?
Nah, he got Marvin Harrison going to New England.
At what, 3?
Yeah.
They lost their minds.
They said New England go get it. So they got They got Caleb. They got Caleb Williams going number 1. He got Drake May going number 2. He got Marvin Harrison. Then he got Malik Neighbors. Then he got Joe Alt. He got New York drafting Jaden Daniels.
Oh wow! But that's wasted money. I mean, you wasted money on Daniel Jones. You don't get none of that money back.
Nah. They didn't. Daniel Jones only has 1 more year guaranteed on his contract.
So they can trade him then. So basically, you ain't keeping him. You ain't doing that and keeping him. So you can trade him draft day. You could keep Daniel Jones and have a rookie quarterback, sit him for a year, and then cut Daniel Jones. They could do that, Mo. Mm-hmm.
They're in a position to do that.
Who he throwing the ball to? And what offensive line that's going to stay healthy? He gonna end up being. Let's say they show me something different. He gonna end up being picked apart.
And then he has JJ McCarthy going to Atlanta.
That's too high.
At number 8.
That's too high. That's a reach. I'm sorry. I get it, but let me say this, and there's no disrespect when I'm about to say to JJ McCarthy and anybody on here in this live that come on this post, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. If they get JJ McCarthy at 8, that's basically saying that's pretty much saying Ritter and Turk Heineke need to retire right now. If they reach for him at 8, that's you because you got to play him day one. If you're going to reach for him at 8 as a head coach, you got to play him day one. There's no way you reach for Jay McCarthy at 8 and do not play him day one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he don't have Bo Nix or Michael Penix. He doesn't have him in the first round.
So let me say this. Even with
That's
2
very interesting.
let me say this. Even with 2 and 3 with May and Daniels, it's who you like. If you pretty much, let's just say this, between after them two, with them two is who you like. But after you go with Penix, JJ McCarthy, and Nix, is what you like for your system. Is what you feel like is going to fit your system. Like, can we really say it's a wide gap between them 3? Like, as far as player, like, I mean, as far as the tangibles, like it's what you like. Because some people scared by Bo Nix' age, some people scared by Penix injuries, and with JJ McCarthy, I've heard some people be like, has he really shown you he can take over a game? He had for all the years he was there, he had a top 3 defense every year he was there, and he had the top running game in the country. He really didn't have adversity there. I'm not saying he didn't deal with adversity while he was there, but if you look at it, look at the recipe he had there. He had back-to-back 2 of the 3 years. His O-line was the O-line of the year, voted by the country. The only year they wasn't was last year, but they was voted second behind Washington's offensive line. I think 2 or 3 years he's been there, they've had the number 1 or top 5 defense there in Michigan. Then he hasn't really had to sit there and really throw the ball downfield and had to beat people throwing the ball because they beat people for 200 yards rushing the game. I'm not saying that's his fault. Hey, that's what Joe
Klatt said. Joe Klatt was like, we gotta see more from McCarthy.
Right. Can you bank on right now? Do you feel like right now you really want to draft him in the first round? Because right now I feel like this. I'm at this day and age NFL. You draft a dude first round, he got to play within the first 5 weeks. So you really feel like you want to draft McCarthy right now and really say throw the ball 30 times a game, how the NFL is booked these days? Or you really going to say McCarthy throw the ball 25, 30 times a game and win us a game? And then tell him not to be the reason we lose? Like that's what we got to start to look at here. So that's why I would say, man, to be honest with you, no disrespect to JJ McCarthy, but if Atlanta goes reaching him at 8, that's a reach, and that's almost to say that you basically blaming it on you basically saying that Ritter and what's name can't win us games. Ritter and Heineke can't win us games, which I get it. But I rather I throw my hat in for Fields before I go J.D. McCarthy at 8. I go Fields. That's me before I do that.
So Joe Klatt has Atlanta getting Dallas Turner, and he has JJ McCarthy getting drafted by Seattle at 16.
But if you do that, you got to play him at some time. Like this draft is deep enough where you can get somebody that can help you. So I feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well almost tell Geno, look, if I reckon ain't this by a certain amount of games, we're just going to go ahead with McCarthy. I get people want to sit people and say 3 years, but do you do that? Can you afford? And let me ask you a question: can you really afford for the Jordan Love treatment anymore? Can you really afford the Jordan Love type?
Yes. So, Seattle got Geno there.
I get it, but what I'm saying is, if you're really trying to win now with how they're firing coaches and not giving coaches long, can you really afford to say, okay, Geno, stay here for 2-3 years, and we're going to wait for us to develop? Because coach, if you Mike McDonald and you trying to win in that NFC West and you trying to compete, can you really say, okay, you give me I'm cool with you drafting a JJ McCarthy 16th overall, but when this draft is deep, and now you telling me that we got Geno and I could have got somebody else that can help us right now to try to win that division or try to at least get us in the playoffs, because the NFC ain't no slouch. The NFC ain't no wait and just develop type of situation. The NFC getting better.
I think they would think about it. I think they would do it to reset the quarterback market.
I get it, but you as a head coach, you can't guarantee they're gonna give me that long to do that. Yeah, they gave him a 6-year deal, but we've seen it before. You give him a deal, or you give him that long to hold tight.
I don't think Seattle seems to type to fire coaches like that. I think they're gonna give him a long time.
Well, Sean Payton ain't into developing nobody, so I don't see them drafting a quarterback unless his hand forced. I think his hand would be forced. I don't see Sean Payton on his own record drafting a quarterback and having the patience. Especially if
what are you going to do?
I get it, but if he was leaning on Russell Wilson like that, think what he going to do to a young dude? He ain't going to be patient with no young dude.
They about to cut Russell Wilson, bro.
It's coming.
So he's going to have to draft a quarterback.
Well, Godspeed.
He's going to have to overpay.
Godspeed. I mean, I'm not arguing with that point, James, but I'm saying that Godspeed to that quarterback because guess what? If Sean Payton would do that to a rookie to a quarterback like Russell Wilson, you think he ain't gonna do it to a rookie? You think he's gonna change his personality all of a sudden?
No,
I don't see it. He gonna mess around and break that damn quarterback. That quarterback will be broken by year 2. That quarterback.
So you think he should? You think he should keep Russ?
No, I'm not saying that. I see it, but what I'm saying is I don't think Sean Payton will have the patience for it. And it's gonna be a disaster. I see him drafting a quarterback, but it's gonna be bad because Sean Payton ain't gonna have the patience because he came to Denver to win. And right now with that offense, none of them receivers producing that they all drafted. Think about all them receivers. They want to blame on Russell Wilson, but I told people this the other day. I had a conversation with a mentor of mine. I said all 3 of their top 10 receivers supposedly were drafted within the first 2 rounds. Judy, Sutton, and the other dude, and Handler. And the dude Handler that came out, all of them was top 3 round draft picks. They ain't done nothing. None of them did
in
this league. So it's like you want to say and blame on Russell.
I was surprised at Judy. I
thought Judy's gonna be better than what he's been. I ain't gonna say I thought he'd be a Pro Bowler by now, but I thought he'd be way better than what he is. But so it's like you want to bring a rookie in.
I mean, he came from that Alabama tree.
Right. And ain't no receivers, ain't none of these free agent receivers in this free agent receiver draft. This free agent receiver class is nasty. Ain't none of them signed up to go no Denver. Ain't none of them signed up to go Denver. Mike Evans, Pittman, Odell, and them ain't signed up to go no Denver.
Pittman probably gonna stay because Indy gonna offer him the most money.
Mike Evans might be gone. They talking about Kansas City. They talking about maybe
nah. Kansas City. He's not gonna go to Kansas City because he's trying to get paid. I think Kansas City gonna try to keep Chris Jones, and that's the only person they're gonna bring back.
Man, you got Odell. You got Higgins, but I think they ain't gonna franchise.
I think Mike Evans is going to go to a team for the most money, and I think he should. He's already won a Super Bowl.
He a Hall of Famer, 10 years, 10 years, $1,000.
Hall of Famer.
Him and Jerry, the only dudes that did it 10 straight years.
Yeah.
So I mean, he ain't got nothing else to prove. So
yeah, he needs to go get his money. I don't think he fits in Kansas City. I think he goes somewhere like Carolina. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pay him a bag.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig will like Mike Evans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good free agent. I think he got another good 2 to 3 years left in him.
I never knew.
You know what I'm saying? Tall receiver. But yeah, I don't know what Denver is gonna do. But cool. We're gonna do is it panic? Is it time to press the panic button or not? This is the segment where I kind of almost press a button, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And this we have three things that need to press the panic button. The first is the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know about the Doc Rivers hire. They're not playing good. Giannis is complaining about learning a new offensive system when I feel like he's gotten those coaches fired, which is just weird. He wanted Adrian Griffin, and then he didn't want him. So That's weird. So I don't know what the Milwaukee Bucks is doing. I don't know what Giannis is doing. He got Dame. They have been playing good. Um, Doc wants Dame to run point. Dame and Giannis pick and roll doesn't exist. It's a weird thing, man. The second, when we talked about this, the NBA All-Star Game. Come on, guys. We got to get it together. New TV deal coming up. You got TNT, the president saying we don't need the NBA. The ratings are down. Y'all got to fix this. Get the right people together. Make the right decisions. Make the right situations. Listen, you need to fix the dunk contest. You need to fix the skills challenge. You need to fix the game. You can do it. You can do it, NBA. Adam Silver, let's go. Y'all should be working on it right now. And the final one is Russell Wilson. I love Russell Wilson. And he's gonna get his money. But you haven't had a winning season in 2 years. And you were on track to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't know. Does he get in? It depends. His everything has been declining. His wins, his touchdowns, his interceptions, all that stuff has been declining. He says he wants to play till 40. That's not going to happen. He's not going to play as long as Tom Brady. And I love Russell Wilson, but I got to be honest. You know, somebody said that if he audibles and they run the ball and Marshawn Lynch scores, he might have stayed in Seattle. Because if he wins 2 Super Bowls, then he beat Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, he kind of would have been etched. He'd have been a Hall of Famer. But right now, I just hope he plays his butt off next year because I don't know if he's going to get another contract. I don't know. Anyway, and we are ending it. Craig, your top 5 ways to fix the NBA All-Star Game.
I mean, I don't even know. These are just some of these I heard on the radio, some of them I heard on TV, or I read something, or some of them I just thought of on my own or whatever it is, and kind of had the same ideas as some other people. Number 5, and some of these I probably could have added some more, but number 5, I'm going with USA versus the world. Like I don't know if this is really going to fix it. Like Mo brought it up earlier, and I do agree with him. But maybe you just need like a change of scenery or something like that. Maybe this could shake it up. I think maybe if they do it in like a Olympic year like this year, they could have done it. And you're already having the USA versus the world with the Olympics coming up, so you can get a little taste of possibly some of the guys that are going to be playing on that team have a little USA versus the world type of All-Star game. If you wanted to do it just that one time, once every 4 years, then cool. I'm cool with it or whatever. Just something to shake it up and maybe get a different perspective or a different look at something that hasn't been done before. We've seen it with the Rising Stars. They had a USA versus the world type thing. So I think you can do it here. Number 4, this is probably way too drastic because I didn't like when they did it in baseball, but I mean, at this point, you got to lay out all the options on the table because you got to make it competitive and make people want to participate. And that is the winner gets home court advantage in the NBA Finals. And I don't agree with it. I don't even like this one, but I just think that it would help with the competitiveness in the game. I mean, I can only imagine if this was the rule last year and you had the Heat and the Nuggets in the finals and the Heat, the East won the All-Star game, and now the East gets home court regardless of the record, and now the Heat have the NBA finals advantage in Miami instead of having it be in Denver. I mean, I think it didn't really work out in baseball like that. But you got to do what you got to do, man, at this point. My number 3 is have a different setup. The Rising Stars Challenge, they have, and NHL does this too. They have 4 different teams. NHL is based on 4 different divisions, but in the Rising Stars, there's 4 teams of like 7 or 8 players. So I think you could probably do, if you wanted to switch it up, you could do like 4 teams of 8 players. You would have 32 players in the All-Star game getting selected. Have 16 from the East, 16 from the West. Divvy it up somehow. Maybe have like the coaches pick the players from the West. You pick your top 8. They pick their whatever it is. Have 4 different coaches, and then you have like a tournament where you have first team to 50 or something, and then they go into the finals. The next team, they go into the finals, and then you just battle it out with the first team to whatever, I don't know, 50 or 75, I don't know, whatever the points may be. But having something like that, I think the Rising Stars is fine. I wish they would go back to the rookie-sophomore thing, but, maybe for the All-Star game, they might want to switch it up like hockey does with the tournament. I've also seen 3v3. I'm not really into that, but that's an option that I saw. I also saw 1v1, have a 1v1 tournament. I don't know how that would work. It would seem like it would be long, but I mean, at some point you got to try something or like put some type of ideas on the table. Number 2, I have each player put their own money up. Put like $1 million up or whatever. I think if you put your own money up, I think you would really be like, okay, you know what? I'm making $40 million, but it's the principal and it's also still $1 million. I don't want to lose $1 million. I mean, you're going to play hard. I would assume to keep your own money, especially if you're the one putting it up. Like it's yours, so you got to go out there. You want to play for it? Cool. Winner take all. At that point, you split it up. Each player puts up $1 million or whatever the case may be. Then that's $12 million right there that your team could be getting if you win. Last but not least, obviously, this is the one people obviously is add a pot, add money to for the winning team, like the in-season tournament. In-season tournament, you get $500,000. I don't know why they can't do something like that for the All-Star game, especially if they really wanted to be a spectacle or wanted to be competitive or whatever it is. Give some of these guys incentive. They went out and they balled hard in the in-season tournament. Some of these guys ball hard in summer league, or they ball hard in the some of those basketball tournaments that they be having, or just like regular pickup games. They play harder in that. And the celebrity game was more competitive, and they play harder in that than they do in the All-Star game. So I think you put money on the table and have that be an incentive to win like they did in the in-season tournament, you could probably make the game more competitive. But like Mo said earlier, at the end of the day, regardless of what I've said or what everybody else has said or whatever, it comes down to the players. The players don't want to play defense or don't want to put any type of effort or try, and all they want to do is just dunk and shoot threes, then that's what it's going to be. But they're gonna they have to want to make the game competitive by playing some sort of defense. I get it's an exhibition. You don't want to get hurt, and that's pretty much the main goal is not to get hurt. But
yeah,
like you're putting on the fans are coming there or they're watching on TV. There's charities involved. Like you had there's sponsorships coming up and all this other stuff. All these celebrities are in the audience, and Adam Silver, like David Stern has to be, God rest his soul, he has to be pissed off at what's going on with the NBA. He has to be. I think Kobe has to be as well. So that's my fixes. I don't know if any of those would actually stick besides maybe like the money part. But I don't know.
That money part is crazy.
I think if you put your
that
own
is crazy.
I think you would play a little bit harder to keep your $1 million in your pocket. But I don't know if the league would ever do something like that. I mean, gambling is legal now for the most part. So
yeah.
I mean, and it is an exhibition game. It's not like it's you're betting on the season and like you're betting on a regular season game or a playoff game or whatever. But I don't know, man. They got to figure something out because This game is just lacking. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's just 211 points, 168.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They shot more threes. What's the name? Shot the East shot more threes than twos. Like there's no jumpers. There's no like mid range is gone.
Yeah.
It's non-existent.
You laughed at Gilbert say get rid of the 3-point line. That would be interesting.
I mean, you wouldn't have
because all the shots that have been made would be twos. Doesn't matter where you shoot it from.
I mean, but he's at the same time, like, who's going to guard a 40-foot shot? He's pulling up from 40, and they're making them.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, but I mean, they got to figure something out.
They have to. Just TV deal, and then to keep people like us interested. You know what I'm saying?
I really think hockey has the best All-Star game.
I was going to ask you that.
The best All-Star, yeah, I guess the best All-Star game.
I was going to ask you that earlier. Why do you think? Because I know you watch hockey. Why do you think so?
I just think it's
competitive. Hockey is the best one.
I think it's competitive. I just think that they have their way that they do their tournament set up. They got the two conferences playing each other, or two divisions playing each other. Then they got two other divisions, and whoever wins, you go to the finals. It just seems like they obviously switched it up from what they used to do, which was East versus West, which was what pretty much everybody done, conference versus conference, and they switched it up, and now they got something that seems to work. I mean, you got baseball. You don't. It's just you only get a certain amount of innings, and you have so many players that don't always get enough. I mean, you might get like two innings, 3 innings, and then you're done out of a 9-inning game or whatever it is. Football, that's a whole nother thing. They're just, I mean, they're trying some new things, whatever it is. I'm not interested in it. And then obviously you got the NBA who they tried to draft. Okay, I thought that was cool. Now they went back from it. They tried the Kobe rule with the 24 points, which to me was pretty cool. I think that could work too. They go back to it. That I mean, you wouldn't have had 200 points if you had the Kobe, the 24-point thing involved or involved.
Yeah.
But hockey's just it's like it's free flowing, it's back and forth. The only thing about hockey though, sometimes in the tournament or in the All-Star game, you get a lot of goals, which is just like basketball. You get a lot of points. So I only take the good with
that's what I would add. So if the NBA did it like hockey, what would an example be?
Like you could have, like, say you had the West, and you would have to have like, because you need subs, so you have to have like 16 players from the West and 16 players from the East. So then you could have like a coach, whoever the coach was. You would have 4 coaches, and then 2 of the coaches for the West. You have to do like a draft or pick your players or whatever. How you wanted to pick your players, I don't know how they. I mean, but just say it was a draft. You draft your players, you draft your team. Then Coach A has his 8 players. Coach B has his from the West, and then Coach C and Coach D from the East have their 8 players. And then you could just do like Coach A versus Coach C, so East versus West in one bracket, top, and then Coach B versus Coach D in the bottom, and then whoever wins out of A and C plays the winner of B and D, and then whoever wins that wins the whole thing, and then they're the champions, so to speak. That's what the NHL does, and that's what the Rising Stars Challenge does now. They do a bracket. I think they have like 7 players though, but they do like a team of NBA players, and then there's another team. There's 3 NBA teams full of rookies and sophomores, and then there's a G League team with like a bunch of G League players and whatever else is type of like non-NBA, but like that type of affiliation type of league or whatever it is. They have players from that, and they put them on the team. I think they actually made it to the finals. They played Jalen Rose's team, but they lost. A bunch of G League, the G League team beat Wemby's team in the first round. So, I mean,
Okay.
it can happen. It's just, I don't know. The players just got to want to play. The players got to want to compete and want to go out there and just not just put on a show and just let them get wide open dunks and take 75-foot shots with 40 seconds left on the clock. So
That's crazy.
it's an embarrassment.
It's an embarrassment, and
I
that's
can't
a
even
good
defend
note.
it. Like I want to get mad at people talking about the NBA and how bad it is. I can't. I'm like, as a fan of basketball, I can't even.
I can't defend it.
I can't say nothing to them. Like they're 100% right.
Nah,
Like,
two of my friends. One of my friends is like, he was like, I don't watch the NBA no more, and I can't be like, why? I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, but I can't. There's nothing that I can say to make him watch it because he's got arguments against why he doesn't watch it, and they're very valid.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that don't want to watch it anymore, and that's fine.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I just can't stop. I get it. I can't stop watching it. I love it.
can't prevent you to watch the game. It's not my job, but like when playoffs get here is when I get really, really invested, or at least like right now after the All-Star break, I get more invested.
Yep.
It's just
This is when I start watching it a lot around this time.
Yeah,
This in college basketball.
I try to get what college I just always watch that, but NBA is just like
basketball time. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I just been out of
basketball and draft.
I've been out of the NBA for like the last 8 years, and just I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Thank y'all again for joining us. We will see y'all next Tuesday at 7. We'll make sure we text Mo.
I don't know that. I got his phone. I'll be on time next week.
But we will see y'all, man. We're out. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Once again, follow us on everywhere you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and we are out. Peace.
International tournament.